Why is it that me moving this plushie around had better animation than this entire episode? And I know I'm real life or whatever, but Jesus Christ, the animation in this episode, the art looked good, but the animation, I mean, it was as if this was some Toei animation World Trigger, just straight up. And even then, that's still more animation than we got. As you can see, I threw that off camera. Let's go. So to its credit, this episode this week did have some things that I did think was good. In a sense, first of all, Natsu and Lucy are actually struggling. They're not winning their fights. They're not easily dominating their opponents. So it's making the Celestial Spirits actually look pretty good. To be honest with you, this arc is definitely reminding me a lot of the Zanpakuto Rebellion Muramasa Bleach arc. I mean, it just really has the same vibe, which I like that arc. For a filler arc, I actually like that Bleach filler arc. And it does have some good merits to it, but this episode, one of the main things, like I said in the intro, was definitely the animation. I mean, there was just so much of literally us looking at just characters staying still. Like, there was a bit in the beginning of this episode where Erza was telling them to be quiet because they were trying to listen to Crooks or whatever, and literally she's still like this for a good like 10 to 15 seconds. Like, I was like, how about, you know, animating? And then seeing the fucking tower or whatever, that giant fucking corn tower looking shit. We saw that thing like a million times flashing through it. So as far as the animation goes, I'm hoping that what they're doing is they're saving the budget for some of the upcoming arcs. Because after the next canon arc, we'll have like a mini canon arc, and then the following one is going to actually be a really epic and crazy arc. So I'm hoping what they're doing is that they're saving the animation budget for that. And that's why the opening doesn't have too much craziness going on either, because they're saving the money. Because if not, then what the fuck are they doing with it? And we learn a little bit more about the Celestial Spirits' goal, basically, again, that they want freedom or whatever, but what they don't know, well, seemingly what they don't know is that the freedom that they get will only be for 12 days. So in a sense, Lucy has to basically rescue them before they make a stupid decision and then, you know, die, so to speak. So it's kind of going to be like, in a way, a weird rescue type of arc, rescuing her spirits before they fuck up and make a terrible decision. So that's kind of adding a little interesting twist to it. And was anybody else shocked and impressed by Yukino actually using some hand-to-hand combat and going in? I was like, Yukino, where you learned those moves, girl? Last time I checked, you were depending on them keys. Good shit, though. If only Lucy could do some of that shit, I'd be like, damn. And then we got a little bit of progression at the end, seemingly Virgo getting the spear at the end, so they're slowly getting closer to their goal. Next week's episode looks like it's going to be almost completely irrelevant in a way, because it looks like weird as hell. But this week's episode, the problems that it had were mainly those, and one other big thing that I noticed as well. If we're in the Celestial, you know, where Natsu's at right now, then there should be a major time gap, because remember, when you go to the Celestial Spirit world, it's a huge difference in time from there, from our world. So it should be something like, you know, totally different going on as far as the timelines go. So either that's a major plot hole, or we need some serious explanations. Because if you remember during the time skip, when they had that little festival or whatever, and they kind of were over there partying, then they lost a bunch of time and they had to go use those awakenings or whatever. So I'm imagining that either this is a plot hole or something weird is going on and everything's thrown into chaos. Because again, where's the Celestial Spirit King? They said that they can't find him. He's nowhere to be found. So either he's maybe behind some of this, maybe he's been turned as well. It kind of makes you wonder what's up with him. So the mystery was building. We got a little bit of action in here. I'm glad again that the heroes are struggling and they're not whipping down. I mean, at the end of the day, when Natsu's struggling against a fucking gentleman cow, that's kind of like, oh, okay, so Fairy Tail's ego is being put back in check, even if it's only in filler. But just a couple of those things that I addressed. Again, animation was piss poor. The plot hole with Natsu being in the Celestial Spirit world and the time difference that's supposed to happen. But I did like that at the end of the day, it's turning into, while they want their freedom, ultimately Lucy needs to save them. So her worries are going to kind of be legit after this, of her just being like, no, let me stop you, because she doesn't want them to actually, you know, die. And with all that being said, I'm going to give this episode a 6 out of 10. I'm going to let it slide on the animation and that plot hole. Hopefully the plot hole will be explained later and it's not a complete, you know, BS. And the animation, I mean, it was just really stiff. It was really stiff. There was just too much flashing. But for the most part, some of the things that happened regarding the content and the story, I'm interested. The plot twist, Fairy Tail not, kicking the enemy's ass. Yukino using some of that hand-to-hand combat. Impressive. So, again, 6 out of 10, fine episode this week. Hopefully, we get a little bit better with the animation and some of the plot twists keep coming in because I like that 12 days to live shit. But let me know what you thought of this episode. First of all, can you explain any of the things that I had a problem with? Well, you can't explain the animation. It is what it is. But as far as, like, the time difference with him going to the Celestial Spirit World, what do you think about Virgo and just all the craziness with their characters? The characters just are totally fucking different. I mean, you got one dude that's supposed to be a fucking pervert bull, and now he's just like a complete gentleman. And then you got Virgo, the fucking nut job, now just like a sadist. So got some pretty crazy shit going on. Here are more thoughts of this episode, but that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.